So today, we're going to get inside the head of one of the most important figures in artificial intelligence, Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis. And we're going to do it by looking at two really powerful stories that kind of define his whole vision for AI.
Okay, let's start with this idea, because it's so important. We all see the chatbots, the image generators, that's the AI we interact with. But what Hassabis is saying is that's just the tip of the iceberg. The really huge impacts are the ones happening in the background, totally invisible to most of us. We're talking about designing new drugs, figuring out nuclear fusion, even predicting floods and famines.
And the person behind this invisible revolution, well, he's a fascinating character. He was a child chess prodigy, then he became a cognitive neuroscientist. So he spent his whole life obsessed with intelligence. It makes sense that he founded DeepMind with this ridiculously ambitious mission, to solve intelligence, and then, use that intelligence to solve everything else.
So, that leads us right into the first of these two big stories. And this one is all about using AI not as a product you buy, but as the ultimate tool to just fundamentally accelerate scientific discovery itself.
Hassabis decided to go after one of the biggest, gnarliest problems in all of biology, the protein folding problem. For 50 years, trying to predict a protein's 3D shape was just a monumental task. But that shape is everything. It determines what the protein actually does in your body. For Hassabis, this was the perfect challenge for an AI.
And the result? It's just mind-blowing. They built a system called AlphaFold. And all of a sudden, a process that took years and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single protein could be done in seconds, for free. The number of protein structures we knew about didn't just grow, it exploded. From a few 100,000 to over 200 million. Just wow.
So after this incredible breakthrough, they had this massive decision to make. What do you do with it? Do you, set up a service where scientists can request structures one at a time? Or do you do something way more radical?
And this is where the big idea hits. During a team meeting, it just clicked. AlphaFold was so ridiculously fast, why bother with individual requests? Hassabis realized, wait a minute, we could just fold everything, every single known protein in existence, and then just give the data away, for free, for everybody.
And the impact of that one decision? It's almost hard to comprehend. Today, over 3 million scientists, that's basically every single biologist on the planet, use the AlphaFold database. It's speeding up research for everything from medicines for rare diseases to creating crops that can survive climate change.
Okay, so that's story number one, AI as the ultimate problem solver. But that's only half of it. The second story is, in some ways, even wilder. It's about AI's potential to not just solve the problems we give it, but to actually create knowledge that we never had before.
This story really kicks off back in 2016 with this legendary showdown. The game is Go, an ancient game that is so much more complex than chess. We're talking more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe. You can't just brute force it. On one side, you have the world champion, Lee Sedol, and on the other, DeepMind's AI, AlphaGo.
In the middle of Game 2, AlphaGo made a move, Move 37, that just shocked the world. No human expert would have ever considered it. It wasn't just a smart move. Commentators said it was beautiful, creative, it felt intuitive. That was the moment people realized AI could discover genuinely new, almost alien knowledge and completely redefine 3,000 years of human strategy.
But then they took it a step further, which is just wild. They built AlphaZero. This new system learned games like Go and chess completely from scratch, no human data whatsoever. They just gave it the rules and let it play against itself. And in a matter of hours, it rediscovered and then completely surpassed thousands of years of human knowledge.
So you have these two amazing threads, right? AI, the scientific tool, and AI, the creative engine. And the original plan was to let these things develop slowly, carefully, inside the lab. But that's not what happened. The world had other plans, and suddenly we found ourselves in an all-out, unplanned AI race.
And Hassabis is really open about this. His ideal path was a much slower, more deliberate, science-first approach. He wanted to use these tools to solve huge problems like cancer before releasing them out into the world. But then consumer chatbots came along, and the whole timeline just got thrown out the window.
And this new reality is a real double-edged sword. On the one hand, progress is happening at lightning speed. More people have access to these amazing tools, and we can test them at a massive scale. But the downside? There's this intense commercial and geopolitical pressure to just go faster, faster, faster. And that leaves a lot less room for caution and careful thought. This crazy race brings us right to the biggest question of all. Where is this actually heading? What is the end game here? We're talking about the search for artificial general intelligence, or AGI, an AI that could learn or do pretty much any intellectual task a human can.
When you look ahead, Hassabis sees two main risks we absolutely have to solve. The first is pretty obvious: bad actors. People or nations using AI for malicious ends. The second is a little more sci-fi, but very real: the rogue agent problem. The risk of losing control of an autonomous AI that starts trying to achieve its goals in harmful ways we never intended.
But, and this is a big but, if we can navigate those dangers, his vision for the future is just breathtakingly optimistic. He sees AI as the key to solving humanity's oldest problems, from disease to clean energy to designing new materials from scratch. He even thinks it could be the thing that makes interstellar travel possible, leading to an era of maximum human flourishing.
So these two stories, they leave us with this profound choice. The AI being built isn't just another product, it's a fundamental tool for understanding reality itself. And as it gets exponentially more powerful, the question isn't really what it will do, but how will we choose to shape it? What will we decide to do with it?